sick. For those of you watching home, Dan Hernandez joins us once again. He was down there with Crockett and Tubbs doing the whole Miami Vice routine. He was down in Florida last week. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Good, John. How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. Dan is over at Milestone Wealth Management. And tell me, I think Florida is like a shining example of the whole reopen movement, because I was down there a few weeks ago, Dan. Places are open, hustle and bustle. People are at work, kids are in school, and it feels like America.
Yeah, I mean, going down, look, the flight down and flight home was full to the extent that they're offering deals for people to get off the plane. Hotel was packed. Talking to other Uber drivers down in South Beach, every place was crowded. Restaurants were crowded. So yeah, very much business as usual. Still wearing a mask as you walk around public places, but yeah, it felt good. And it felt normal, and they're doing okay down there.
Yeah, one of our Women Wednesday contributors, Dawn Del Russo, was down there last week too. She texted me. She said Florida's pretty much proving everyone wrong on this, because it's operating and business is bustling and there's meetings going on. So, commerce continues in normal states, not here in New York and New Jersey as good. But big tech was getting smacked around last week, earlier in the week. A couple of days there, the Dow was up and the NASDAQ was down, which was like a departure. And bond yields are, starting to slow down. What's happening there, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, the sell-off in bonds appears to be coming to an end. And look, what happened in the NASDAQ and with tech stocks last week, and you and I kind of alluded to it last time we talked, it needed to happen. That this whole rotation into value is natural. And I'm not saying it's, this is the way it's going to be. I mean, but we've had this little correction in NASDAQ, and I think everything's going to be fine. Yeah, they just, some of these stocks got ahead of themselves. The bond sell-off looks like after that yield jump is going to slow down. So I think we're okay. I think it's just a natural ebb and flow, and those tech stocks had to pull back a little bit.
Yeah, Dan, it's weird. A lot of people, they don't fully get it and say, well, the bond yields are up. That must be good. But the yields are up because the departure from par is down. So you're losing principal if you had to sell them, but you're getting a little higher yields. It's not the best thing. What about these pharmaceutical stocks? 29 million COVID cases, 500,000 deaths. But according to Johns Hopkins, Pfizer's going to rake in about 15 billion, Moderna 18 billion, and Johnson & Johnson about 10 billion. That's a lot of billions for the pharma.
Yeah. I mean, some of that's already priced in. We've seen these stocks move a little bit. They've certainly, the other thing that has helped them is the protection against liability that they got in order to push these things out quick. So no, absolutely, they're going to do okay, but a lot of that's priced in already. I mean, these stocks, taken in some cases some pretty nice moves.
Are they worth buying here, the farmers, in your view?
No, I mean, compared to some other stuff, no. I think there's opportunities elsewhere. I still look, and you and I talked about the rotation into value. I still think gas prices are going to keep going up. There's opportunities there, at least for a little bit longer. I still think there's some room in some cruise lines, airlines. Some airlines have hit their March highs, but not all of them. I think a lot of the leisure stocks still have some room to grow. So, I think there's opportunities elsewhere. And I think actually what's happened here in the last week has created some opportunities again at some of these tech stocks. They just had a pullback, but yeah, I'm not dying to jump on these farmers.
All right, and let me just be clear. When I put Dan on the spot and ask him about a single stock name, I'm not a financial advisor. Dan has not figured out if it's suitable for you. He doesn't know you. You're not his customer, so don't take any of his advice as or thoughts as solicitation. Was that good?
Yeah.
That was a good legal rep. Let me ask you this: when I see Florida, I was down there a couple of weeks ago for 5 days, and I was like, screw it, it's snowing, it's raining. I'm staying. I stayed for 10 days.
Nice.
Do you think states like Florida and Texas, now Mississippi's open, Arizona's up, could there maybe be some opportunity in like the beaten down like hospitality stocks, the Hiltons and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, I do, and that's what I was saying before. Kind of comparing some of those stocks with some of the pharma stocks we were talking about. I do think there's opportunities there in hotels. Like I said, even some airlines still. The cruise lines, I don't think are gonna peak for hopefully until the later in the year. That's probably going to be the slowest of those areas to come back. But look, I know people that have 3 cruises booked for 2021, or 2022, I should say, that stuff they've had to cancel. People are dying to get out and travel. The people that love cruises are still going to love cruises. That hasn't changed. So they're going to be back. And like you said, so some of these other leisure stocks, hotels, and I think some airlines still have some room to go.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I could see travel, I could see hotels, but these cruise ships, it's like a floating petri dish. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get 1 or 2 people on there, you could affect a whole boatload of people.
You know what? But that was the case 2 years ago. I mean, pre-COVID, we saw situations like that.
Right.
And it didn't deter people. It deters some people, but people that love the cruise, and all they've done is postpone their cruises. That they haven't changed their mind, they haven't canceled them, they've just postponed them, and they'll be back. So, I mean, I agree with you about the floating petri dish. I can't get my wife near one, but they're going to be okay.
All right. That's our guy, Dan Hernandez from Milestone Financial. Good to have you back, my friend. We missed you.
John, thanks.
Just so you know, they were trying to feed me some other imposter, like, oh, this guy will take Dan's spot and everything. I said, no, forget that. We want Dan or we want no
one. No, plus he didn't have as good a tan as I do. So
that's right. All right, Dan Hernandez, always with us on Tuesday, talking about things you need to know when figuring out how to set up your portfolio, and check them out at Milestone Financial. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
See you next week.
All right.